I welcome you to this Department of ECE for this presentation about the new M.Tech program that we have launched from this department. I will start with a brief introduction about the institute itself. As you know, this is recognized as an institution of eminence by the Ministry of Education. Now it used to be called MHRD earlier, and is also ranked at the top by the ranking in the country, which was introduced recently. It's also ranked very high by international ranking agencies, for example, the Times Higher Education ranking, and also the QS World ranking of universities. As you could see, overall, this institute stands at the very top among all the institutions in India, as you can recognize here. I share with you a photograph of the main building of this institute. You must have seen it at different places. This is a new logo for this 110-plus-year-old institute, which runs about 24 different M.Tech programs. We have about 45 academic departments with about 470 faculty members and more than 4,000 students. I said about 100-year-plus history with a lot of accomplished alumni. We also have top-notch faculty members who are recognized globally doing cutting-edge research. And on top of all of these, we also get to live in a nice environment in the middle of the city of Bangalore. I must mention that the two photographs that you see here are taken just few tens of meters apart. So you get to see these nice buildings and nice sort of like forest-like atmosphere in the middle of the city of Bangalore. Let me talk briefly about the department, which was started about close to 75 years ago, before the independence of the country, carved out of the electrical technology department with about 13 students at that time. And a new building was inaugurated by none other than the Prime Minister Nehru in 1951. And as UGC came up, we also started degree programs, BE, ME, MSc, and PhD. And the department started a Center for Information Processing in 1970s, which was essentially, seeding the light for signal processing research in the country. We started a program called CEDT with international support, which eventually became a department called DSC in IISc, which also helped in triggering a lot of electronics manufacturing related industries in India. The department also had an ERNet program launched in mid-1980s. That program essentially seeded, to a great extent, the internet era around us. The M.Tech program ME program ran by the department was sort of revamped actually across the country around that time. And we started having 3 streams run by the department on telecom, signal processing, and microelectronics. The department started 2 new initiatives in mid of the last decade, and both of these have spun into separate centers in the institute doing research either in nanoelectronics or the second one in cyber physical systems. As you may have noticed, we revisited our M.Tech program and renamed it as an M.Tech ECE from this year. And I will talk more about it in a short while. Let me first talk a little bit about the department. The department has a vision to, excel in theoretical as well as experimental research in communication signal processing, microelectronics, RF, and photonics. We offer degree programs in PhD. There is also an M.Tech research degree program and various M.Tech degree programs, which is, one of them is this ECE that all of you have applied for. We graduated a good number of students over the last 5 years in all these different categories. The research areas in this department are in, as I said, in communications, signal processing, RF, applied electromagnetics, photonics, and allied areas, nanoelectronics, circuits, and more recently, quantum technologies and the like. We have 13 professors, 6 associate professors, and assistant professors each, and various other faculty members in the department. This is a stamp photo of all of them, and they do research in these 3 broad themes that you see here. And if you want to know more details, you may want to visit their personal websites and you will be able to see more of them. But as you could see, many advanced topics, there is research happening in this department. And therefore, the faculty members in the department are recognized by several awards and prizes. Almost all the major awards in this country are won at least by one of my colleagues in this department. And we also spend time volunteering for various activities, professional activities. One of them will be for working as in the editorial boards of world-class journals. And as you could see, there are about a dozen of them as of now currently, where my colleagues have taken active roles. And therefore, you will also see a lot of them being elected for highly prestigious fellowships, either by IEEE or nationally by the academies. We interact closely with several industries, and the department have funding from many of them. As of now, we have funding from some of these major industries as of now currently. There are also separate funding coming from some of them as fellowships for PhD or even master's students. You can also see there's significant international collaboration by colleagues in the department with professional academics across. We talk some bit about the MTech ECE program that all of you have applied for. The program has a very ambitious and achievable objectives with us. We plan to train future world leaders in the discipline of ECE. And we want to do that based on the theme of this institute, with which Tatas have set it up more than 100 years ago, which is to influence and impact the material wealth of this country. And we want to do that by producing alumni who will take up leadership roles in research, academics, and industry. People who will create jobs and innovate better. And we want to do that by providing a multidisciplinary exposure to all our students. And we hope to be, in the world's foremost higher education programs. We want to take yours into that level very soon. So with that in mind, we have now come up with a very flexible, depth and breadth choices within the ECE program, which the students could choose based on their interests, but limit themselves to the expertise that is available in the department, either in terms of communications and networks, signal processing, or machine learning AI kind of topics, or high frequency circuits, devices, and the like. I should also mention that this program is listed as ELC because they didn't want to confuse you with the ECE, that is the department name. So in the admissions portal, this program is listed as ELC. So let me talk a little bit about, you must have seen at least a half a dozen different programs which have ECE as their requirements. So let me see how our program pitch with regard to the rest of the programs that you see. Can I request others to please mute the mic for the time being? Thank you. So the ECE program is basically renamed and modified out of a program that the department used to run called CN, Communication and Networks, with, as I mentioned, broadening the scope and various other factors. The department has been running two other programs for last 20-25 years. One on microelectronics, which recently was renamed as microelectronics and VLSI, and the other on signal processing. 2 years ago, we are joining hands with some other departments to launch a new program on artificial intelligence. These other departments which are working with us also have their own master's programs, electronic design or in electrical engineering. And there are other programs in CS, computational data sciences, or nanoelectronics, which some of you may have also applied as other options. It has started two new programs, one on quantum technology and the other on robotics and autonomous systems. So all these programs may take students, many of these programs, except probably for CS and EE, will take students with ECE as the background. So we will talk a little bit more about what you will learn in the ECE program here. But I should also mention that the M.Tech students in our department may share courses with the students in all these disciplines, or may even go and take courses offered by some of these other departments, subject to availability and scheduling issues. So let me talk a little bit about the M.Tech ECE program. We have changed the requirements of this program to ensure that you do learn the basic communications courses. We have a course called digital communication and another on probability and random process, which is going hand in hand. So these two courses will be compulsory courses. We are launching a new laboratory course so that the students will get some experimental exposure to the communication systems of today. I'll talk about it in the next slide, but we have 3 different stream pools defined, and we expect all our students to take 1 course each, which will give them the breadth in these broad topics. And then also
Yeah, okay. I think Vinoy has some connection issues. Just hold on. He'll join in a few minutes. Yeah.
Rajiv, are you able to hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. So maybe please tell me where it stopped.
Yeah, you can
Uh,
go from this the courses slide, the course
this
requirements. Yeah,
13? Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Rajiv. So yeah, this is essentially the structure of this program. We expect all our students to take two compulsory courses on communication and also a lab course which we are launching from the next year. So that will make the main requirement for the MTech in ECE. In addition, we expect all the students to take one course each from 3 different stream pools, which will give you the breadth in various areas of ECE at the highest level. All students at the master's level are expected to take a project, and the remaining credit requirements are essentially met by session courses that you could choose from your area of interest. In the communication and networks, we have this set of courses. In the signal and information sciences area, we do have a set of 8 or 10 courses that are listed here. Similarly, in the high frequency circuits and systems, we have more than half a dozen courses listed here. So what we are expecting is that you'll be able to take at least one course to get some exposure to the diversity that the department offers, which is important in this era of interdisciplinary research and development. So based on that, we have also come up with a candidate set of coursework for this entire program, and you will see more about it later on if and after you join this program. So by taking a few extra courses from these other pools, you will be able to become well-rounded engineers, which will be coveted by industries. And we also feel that new specializations could be added later based on the student interest, and the program is flexible enough to handle all that. I'm sure all of you would want to get some feel of the career options after the MTech in ECE. Obviously, we expect all of you to get industry placements, but in addition, there are also possibilities to convert to a PhD at IISc, or IISc offers a lot of options these days for entrepreneurship. So if any of you are interested to go in that way, that would also be possible. Or if you want to go somewhere else to do the for higher studies, even that possibility exists. What are the job opportunities when you go for industries? Let's look at these 3 different specializations or sub-specializations or streams that we have defined. I've listed here some job profiles, just some examples, which could take you into companies which I'm sure all of you would love to join. And the skills that are needed are also listed here. So basically, when you join the program, that's essentially what you want to build up if you don't have some of them. So if you want to specialize in signal and information sciences, I also have listed some of the job profiles that you could look at and potential employers that you could look at. Similarly, for the high frequency circuits and systems, there could be good number of jobs with, similar or better positions than all of these. So by spreading our students into these three different streams, we hope that, they will all be able to get very good positions in these industries, after they graduate. So that's about the future. But what has been happening in placements in IISc? So I happen to be heading the office of career counseling and placement of the institute. So I have the data. So as you could see over the last few years, the challenge that IISc used to face with regard to the student placements have been reasonably addressed. And as you could see here, the average annual salary is of the order of 20 lakhs or more for the students graduating out of this institute. And you can also see that a large number of students who graduate, the median score is also somewhat similar. So a large number of students also will go with this kind of 20 lakh plus kind of salaries, annual salaries. The average is not loaded by one student getting a 20 crores salary or anything like that. And thankfully, so far we have not seen major impact of the COVID-19 situation. In the last year, we hardly had three or I think 2 or 3 offers being withdrawn, and we were able to get something done for those students as well. And you could also see that in the last few years, we have been aggressively pushing students for summer internships in industries, which is also helping in terms of placement and various other things. So with this, let's see what we need to do next. I've already written to you, and I'm sure most of you have already filled. Please fill that online form so that we will be able to schedule your interviews. FAQ. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we lost you in between for a minute. Yeah.
But you can hear, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So you attend the interviews next week, and when the offer comes from the academic session of the institute for ECE program, do accept and then join us in August 2021. That's all I have here for you. Thank you.